Täällä on pallo! Täällä on pallo!
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise up and remove your hats for national anthems of Finland and Ireland.
And the national anthems being sung by these teams on the floor, they just give me chills. What a way to kick off this one. It's our second game of the day here from LCC Radotín. Thank you for joining us. My name's Tino Farah. To my right is Luke Lee, back for another one. Luke, we got treated to a doozy between Germany and the Italians earlier this morning, but Germany got the upper hand. Now we turn our focus to Finland taking on Team Ireland. We get a look at the lineups here. This should be another high-flying game. Finland is a team that's well known for their offense. Ireland likely going to lean on their goaltending, their culture, their defense. What should we expect from this kind of a matchup?
Big question here is, what are you going to do? Homegrown talent versus the imports, right? That's the big question here, because you have a couple teams here that really prioritize genuinely getting homegrown talent, and then there's a couple other teams that want to mix in some imports as well. So the question is here, like you said, how do the imports match up against the local guys, as well as, like you said, the high-flying offense versus the tough defense for Ireland, and the goaltending is, in a sport like box lacrosse, you obviously have a lot of offense. So if you can go out there and play a quality defensive performance, quality performance in the net, go a long way.
You're getting a look there at the two starting netminders. Previously, you were looking at Devlin Shanahan. If you're a box lacrosse fan, that is a name you are very familiar with. He's played in all sorts of different places, most recently with the Georgia Swarm in the NLL. Right there is Lauri Uusitalo, who helped backstop this group in Utica 2024 and is going to try to kick his team off with a big win this afternoon in Prague. The two teams have finished their own cheers, made their way back to their respective benches, and are now starting to come through to formation at center floor. Gorman is going to take the opening draw for Ireland. From the Finns, it's going to be Alex Kiviniemi. Quick delay here while the officials get something sorted out. Let's get in the officials before we get too far as well. Cam Anderson, Martin Batushka, Emma Jones, and the standby official is Dennis Cheng. They're going to try to keep things as dialed in as possible. You're looking at Cam Anderson right now between the two face-off men for their respective clubs. Coming out of British Columbia is Cam Anderson. Does a lot of reffing in a couple of the leagues that I call some games in, so very familiar with him. We'll try to take it easy on him on the broadcast, though, today. Not sure what the delay here is, but yeah, why not get a little extra water in these guys as well. Remember, every team gets a hydration break. Oh, I guess they're just waiting for the final clock to start down exactly on schedule. God forbid we get a little ahead of schedule, you know?
Right.
But there will be the hydration break that comes at the first whistle under 10 minutes. Then we'll go to our media timeouts in every quarter under 5 minutes, and so on and so on. World lacrosse rules here, which means 4 15-minute long quarters. And hopefully for our case, this game will be a little bit closer than the last one.
No doubt about it. I think back to your question you asked earlier, Tino. I don't think I gave the best answer I could have given. I think that honestly, what really could make the difference is who steps up between the Finland defense and the Ireland offense. I think that could even be an even better way to look at it, to play devil's advocate.
Definitely. Remember, Finland, they've got a pretty quality goaltender in net as well. Right away, there's a big collision near center floor off the opening faceoff, and here comes Brett Kujala. Usually wears the number 91 this afternoon, wearing the number 26. But easy to pick him out of the crowd with the way he moves, and likely not going to take too long until he finds the back of the net on Ireland as an early crease violation takes away a good chance from Rupe Jokela.
Already Finland looking aggressive on the cuts, taking it to Ireland early on, and it's going to be that offense versus defensive matchup that you were saying.
Ireland now on their first possession of the European Box Lacrosse Championships. Welcome into Prague, everybody. Here's Foley. The bright yellow head, first shot, first goal, 1-0 in the opening minute for Ireland.
And already the Ireland offense, they're getting going and step this one out. It all took was a little pick, a little space for Foley, and then the step down sidearm shot. As you can see, just a little bit the cutter coming in there, caused a little bit of defensive hesitation for Finland, and already Ireland letting it go.
And the high defender there for the Finns was Kalle Hukkinen, and he got kind of stuck in that no man's land. You wind up just screening your goaltender. You'd like to see him get a little bit further out, get sticks on hands, so on and so forth. And now the Finns will be playing from behind, and they're going to have to defend a little bit longer now that Ireland won the ensuing face-off. And here they come once again. Quinn gets it down, and they'll again get it back up top to Foley. Hard to miss him with the color of the head on his stick. Hard on the cradle. He'll throw an underhand feed now through the middle, and that'll be an interference call going against Ireland, ending that possession a little bit early.
And you can see how physical Ireland is when it comes to their cutters across the field. Obviously, when you're cutting, you're not really thinking about creating some contact, but Ireland really is. It's like they're throwing out some moving picks.
Here comes Viren, excuse me. Jokela, chance to drive back down to the corner. Viren goes through some contact, dispossessed. Here come the Irish, streaking back over center, slowing down is Cale Grahan. He'll get a little bit of help as he's swarmed by the pressure. Luckily, though, Patrick Corbett came over to help him out, negate some of that pressure.
Nice job from Finland to slow things down.
Over top, nice toe drag through a triple team and dropped the ball before being able to shoot. What an individual effort that was from Matt Duncan. Now Ireland looking to cause the 10-second count, but the Finns will be able to break free of that, cross over the line. Joachim Miller's out for his first shift. Formerly of the Philadelphia Wings, 6 games played for him in the 2019 season. That shot whistles wide. Got to get something on goal. They're able to, or there's a chance in tight. But once again, the shot clock will expire. It's Brett Kujala, and already you can see the hands of him on display.
Despite the shot clock expiring there for Ireland, strong defense, a lot of strong second chance opportunities. Good job to keep their heads up by the Finns.
Koskinen off of the Ireland turnover. Kujala just steps back onto the floor now. Jokela, Viren, Taking a peek around and absorbs that slash from the Irish defender. Kuyala wants the screen. He's going to drive and spin back topside. Hands-free shot. Devlin Shanahan makes the nice save, and he's going to lob that to a man streaking off the bench. Maybe sun in the eyes. That winds up out of play, and possession now back to the Finns.
That's a tough catch, bouncing off the head of the stick of Gillis, and tough one to bring it, especially the way he had to move his stick to try to bring that one in. It just wasn't the best.
Riku Jokela backpedals away, skips to the top side, shot is blocked, goes to the corner. Oh, look out, Shanahan coming way out of his crease. Looking like Christian Del Bianco with the way he wants to play that ball, and he's able to stick handle that to an open defender.
It'll be interesting to see if Finland can manipulate Ireland's aggressive tactics inside the net.
Here comes Gillis, the captain. He's got Foley with him. Late change being made by both teams. So there was a couple of Irish defenders up in the offense and a forward for Finland that was stuck having to defend a little while longer. Foley forced to throw a tough shot from distance, winds up on goal, but nobody in a white jersey there to try to pick it up.
Again, strong defense from Finland, able to get off the field and hold Ireland throughout the entire shot clock possession.
1-0 Ireland leads on the goal from Connor Foley. Nice one through. Shanahan stayed with it, and he'll hang on to the rebound as well. Dish that up the floor quickly to James Stahl. Stahl hits a set of fresh legs. This is Patrick Quinn. Quinn flips through to the middle. Shot goes wide. Hammers it off the corner boards, ends up out of play. Finland wanting to go with speed. That's the voice of Tracy Koluski you're hearing on the Finland bench. Now Kuyala puts it into the Ireland logo. An easy stop for Shanahan.
Maybe a little bit of a premature shot right there. Maybe could have let that develop a little further.
Remember, this is the first game of the tournament for both of these teams. It's a bit of a feeling out process. They look to get comfortable in the heat. A foreign location for many of these players. Good handle inside. Goaltender is down. Here's Foley, and another save by Ushitalo. He dropped down to his knees. And look out here, a couple of extra shoves are thrown, and Ushitalo wanted the quick start. He tried to throw that up the floor with everybody crowding around in the pile. But with that whistle, we get our first hydration break of this game, and just like we saw in the first game this morning, you're likely going to see everybody just try to find any little bit of shade that they can. And something I want to talk about before, I mean, we saw that pass from Devlin Shanahan, the goaltender for Team Ireland. He lobbed that basically, I mean, into where there would be rafters if we're in an indoor arena, and that's kind of the point, because these guys are used to playing indoors, where the goaltenders, they got to be mindful of those long bombs, because if they throw it too high, they're giving possession away. It just goes straight into the ceiling. Here, there is no ceiling, of course, being an outdoor venue, so you can throw it as high as you want, but because we're outdoor, the sun is then getting directly into the eye. So as a goaltender and as a passer in general, you kind of have to find that perfect middle ground. You know, are you going to blind whoever you're trying to throw the pass to, or are you going to utilize the extra height that you can try to take advantage of? It's a tough decision to try to make. If you're a player streaking out of the defensive zone, what's your preference? Would you rather be blinded by the sun, or would you rather that pass be, you know, on a rope directly into your stick?
Yeah, you definitely rather, as a transition defender, you want that ball on your stick. All right, you want to have the ability to catch that ball in stride and then be able to set something up, because if you're able to keep the tempo up and you're able to allow your offensive transition players to come out the gate really fast and not to slow things down, that's how you get the defense off guard, and that's how you create miscommunication. And especially with how Finland was moving on the previous defensive position, every single slide was on time. They were communicating well. So as an offensive player, as an offensive transition player, you definitely want to create that confusion, that urgency on the defense, no doubt about it.
Now Finland trying to create a bit of confusion here as they pull the goaltender for a moment to get the extra player on for an easier pass option, but now Lauri Ushitalo is back in the goal for Finland. Brett Kuyala has got a lane to work downhill, defended very well. Throw a backhander across over to Jokela. He'll pick that up with one hand. 5 seconds to shoot. They got a man behind the goal for the dunk if they can find him. That shot from distance is blocked by the defender.
Again, really tough defensive possession for Ireland. Both teams out the gate have been really, really strong on that side of the ball. They've been very, very communicative, and everyone's known their job. Their slides have been on time. It's just been textbook defense through and through.
The goal scorer Foley is back on. Here he is with possession now. Finds topside. Can't shoot yet. He'll get it over to the lefties. This is the captain. Gillis hits the roller. Low shot. Didn't make contact with Ushitalo, and now there's just 3 seconds remaining. Now they will fire. Oh, and a tough rebound off the Finnish netminder. It goes out of play, and now Ireland will keep possession.
The previous shot by Mount Duncan, even though it ends up going a little bit wide, that's a really, really strong shot possession just based on where he is on the field, able to get the goalie out of position. Had that shot been on target, that would have been a goal.
Here's Gillis. Splits through a pair of defenders, skips to the near corner. Gillis, the intended recipient there, the opposing number 88. Askeli Rantanen will go towards him, closing that gap, and Ushitalo will reach out of his crease and that possession a little bit early.
With how both teams have been playing defensively, they've been shifting in, you're really going to have to be able to try to create those angles as an offensive player and create those second shot opportunities.
The Finns will start with their righties, but very quickly they get it over to the far side. It's a righty strong set for Finland. Skip to the near corner, took a deflection, shot around a screen. That goes off the boards and into the Ireland bench. Still nothing on the board yet for Finland. This is just a 1-0 lead on the early goal from Connor Foley.
Again, trying to create another shot, another shooting angle outside, trying to force the goalie out, and just not able to do so.
Duncan finds a little bit of room. Foley has it once more. Takes his space. Stops up at the restraining line, gets it over to the righties, and now there's a penalty coming up to Ireland. First power play of the game is going to go to Finland. 2 minutes for tripping. What a chance now to open the scoring for the Finns. And like we've talked about all day, including in the previous game, just find that confidence back into your lineup. Sometimes it just takes one, and the Finns are going to get a chance here early.
And no doubt about it. I mean, both teams so far, I've said it a couple times, and I'm going to say it again, both teams have been on point as to where they need to be, their assignments. Everyone's been communicating. There has not been any gaps in the defense. So now you get the 4-on-5 opportunity. And this is where, at Finland, you really want to try to manipulate the shooting angles and try to create that open shot for you.
Finland's got a lot of size on this power play. Kujala tries to feed behind the goal, and Devlin Shanahan picks it off. There's that long bomb again, trying to send Gillis streaking off the bench. Good handle, he's got a man open, but he's hounded by 2 back checkers, so he'll just sprint to some open space. As you can see, Gillis directing traffic there. One of the many reasons he wears a C on his jersey, a leader for this group for many different reasons. Corbett wound up dropping that. Oh, and now there's a Finland penalty coming up, so an early end to their power play. And is that going to be another slash? I believe it will be. A slash from behind the play. Well, that means we're going to see 4-on-4 for 1 minute and 17 seconds until we'll see a shortened Ireland power play. In the game this morning between Italy and Germany, I mean, the score overall was massive, but the power play goals that came throughout that game, I mean, what was the final? I think Germany had 7 power play goals, something like that. Just unbelievable stuff. It took forever until there was actually an unsuccessful power play in that game. I got a feeling that that may not be the case in this one. So these teams want to lock up their defensive side. So many teams consider their identity to be, well, here's Kujala with a nice drag, and then he ran out of room. So many teams consider their identity to be their defensive side of the ball. Kujala tries a late shot in the clock. Shanahan read that the entire way.
Again, Ireland really living up to that reputation of strong defense. I mean, everybody was there, and Kujala, just no space for him to work. You see, he was trying to navigate behind the net, and just, there was no space.
To the corner now. We're getting close to An Ireland power play, they don't even need it. They'll get one at 4-on-4 thanks to Patrick Quinn, who's able to get underneath the defense and fire that past Lauri Uusitalo.
And the Finns double team Matt Duncan, and a heck of a play from him to stay up, and he was getting chased all around, and to reverse field, switch his hand, and then hit on the run his man in stride who was cutting down. I mean, that's just a perfect play. Top far side shooter on the crash down cut. That's basically as basic as it gets, but I mean, that doesn't happen unless Matt Duncan survives.
So 4-on-4 continues now. 15 seconds until this will be an Ireland power play. That ball is dislodged. 3-on-1 right now in favor of the Irish. They come up with possession.
Where's the reset? What's the reset for?
Some complaints about the shot clock, and now it's being counted down manually by the officials. That's the signal you're seeing counted down by the high referee. Uusitalo makes the save. Here come the Finns. They'll look to slow this down, but don't get it twisted. They've got the talent on their offensive side to still take it to the rack despite being down a player. And another penalty coming up. This one's going to go to Ireland. There's a Finland forward slow to get back up. Now parked behind the goal. Oh, that could have been another penalty too. We'll see if it's just the one. Looks like it is indeed going to be, but that definitely could have been a high stick or a cross check against Jokela, who is back to his feet, a little bit shaken up. Oh, and excuse me, there's 2 Ireland players making their way to the box, so they may have actually just gotten both of them.
And both of those penalties were 2 examples of unnecessary roughness. I know we were talking about at the end of the Germany-Italy game being kind of unnecessary. That is the definition of unnecessary. As you see, Adamson, he just threw down offensive player for Finland, and then you see as Jokela goes down, he's unnecessarily hit a little bit late, and that's just one of those plays where, especially as you have a 2-0 lead early in the game, you don't want to do that. That's just unnecessary.
And this is a gift now for the Finns. Jokela, nice seam pass through. They go back door again, can't shoot. Jokela, he would love to get the goal, and he'll get it on cue. Caught Shanahan dipping the shoulder and floats it into the far left corner. A massive goal for the Finns, who will stay on the power play.
The definition of cat and mouse right there. You got the 5-on-3, and there's not really much you can do if you're Ireland in that kind of position, but just a really excellent shot possession or shot selection by Jokela as he was able to put that one in the top corner, and it's just getting the goalie moved from one spot to another, tire him out a little bit. I got one on the board.
Shades of Jesse King with that shot as well. Being able to sell as if you're going to short side, but float it over the shoulder. And that brings us to our first media timeout of the game. We'll take a quick breather just after Finland gets on the board. They trail now 2-1 against Ireland. You're watching the European Box Lacrosse Championships live in Prague. Well, the teams are hydrated. Hopefully you are too. There's one bottle of ice water up here in the booth. I won't say who it belongs to, but one of the broadcasters is not happy that it's not his.
I wonder who that is. I think I could tell just based off the tone of your voice.
Power play back on. Finns having just scored one on the man advantage. just a moment ago. It came from this man. Jokela will skip across through the middle, and a nice chance in tight, and they score on the rebound. Banking it off the end boards, then potted home by Jarno Aaltonen. His first goal of the tournament, and we're back to square one, tied 2-2.
And again, you can see the pick inside that just creates a little bit of space for the initial shot. That was by Joakim Miller, and then ultimately the bounce back shot on the second opportunity just heads up in the right space at the right time, and that's exactly what you need if you're Finland. To go down, after going down 2-0 too, what a way to bounce back for them.
Yeah, and a gift as well. Remember, they had that power play chance earlier in this quarter, and then they took themselves off of it by taking a penalty themselves. Now they score 2 on the 2-man advantage, and they can just sort of reset their mindset, get back to the game plan that they had drawn up originally. But Ireland looking to reclaim the lead. There's a cutter open through the middle, and a shot from the wrong side handled well by Uusitalo. Some rough stuff away from the ball, but everybody will separate. Tough ball. Goes all the way down to the Irish corner. Devlin Shanahan again way out of his crease, and the Finns, that might be something that they keep their eye on. A very active goaltender, likes to come out of his crease. Maybe that's something they can turn into some scoring opportunities if they can swarm him a little bit.
Just going to say, absolutely. Coming out of the break off transition, that's exactly what you're going to be looking for if you're Finland.
Corbett steps through the crease. The Finns will collect. Remember, with World Lacrosse rules, it's not the regular 8-second count that you have to get over center that everybody's used to in the NLL. 10 seconds you have to clear your defensive zone.
Also, if you're Ireland, you have to keep in mind of how aggressive you play in the goal. You might want to have a defender transitioning in very early on to kind of combat that offensively for Finland.
Too many turnovers right now, I would argue, from both sides. And interference gives it back to Ireland. Foley with the offhanded swim. Nice flip to the inside, scores! Back in front go the Irish, and Foley's gonna pick up an assist on another one.
And again, just the pass off, cut back inside, throw it over the top. I mean, that's just too basic right there. Get it out quickly, breaks off the defender just a little bit quickly as Tukkonen just losing him just for a moment and not keeping the stick on the stick, and ultimately easy goal for Ireland back on top.
It's always interesting as these tournaments progress when you're seeing players or nations that you haven't necessarily seen a ton of all too recently. You start to see, who are the guys that pair up often on the 2-man game, and, who are the guys that benefit more on the strong side, and so on and so on. And right now, with 3 goals on the board, 2 of them for Ireland have come from Patrick Quinn. Oh, and Finland gets one back. That's the response that they were hoping for. A nice roll to the middle for Robert Raitila.
And again, it was a late cutter coming off transition that just opens up enough of a spot. You can see him breaking it at the top of the screen, and just at the last second coming in there and making himself into the play. And it's a tough little shot over the defender and to a nice spot down low.
So you'll get a look at the fans in attendance behind both benches as well. Plenty to cheer for in these opening 13 or so minutes so far. Just about 2 minutes left in the opening quarter. Even 3-3 after Ireland at one point was up 2-0. A pair of power play goals back-to-back for the Finns. And then the teams would exchange markers moments after that. I think Brett Kuyala just had a couple of words for the Ireland bench after that almost went in. That one will go in. Peter Hryniuk gives Finland their first lead of this game.
And again, just taking it in there, a nice little move over the top of the defender. Cuts back inside, and then as he's being almost held a little bit by the stick, just able to barely get that thing out. And that's a heck of an athletic play. And really good job to get that out before he hit the crease, because that could have been very close to him entering the crease and the goal being voided.
It's a good spot to have your stick as well. You could see him as he was going in. The stick was staying up high that entire time. You're giving yourself every option available if you want to reach around, if you want to reach over, if you want to throw it behind your back, and ultimately he decides to go over top of Devlin Shanahan for the 4-3 lead. Now Ireland's going to take possession on the face-off violation. Trailing for the first time. Now the question is going to be, how do they respond in this situation? Here is Foley. Connor Foley will get it over to the lefties. Now Gillis waiting for an open man through the middle. Duncan will create some space for him. Foley fired that wide. Had Corbett cutting through the middle as well. Gillis shot around a defender, and that's going to be pulled back into the crease of Ushitalo, and he'll settle things down.
So far, the explosiveness has come from, well, explosiveness has come from the offense just gunning it down the field, and honestly, slowing it down has not been working so far for both offenses. And if you're either side, you want to keep going, keep putting the foot on the gas.
Little cloud cover now in the forecast. Look out! That could have been a dangerous feed. And, oh, now another Ireland penalty from behind the play. What's this one going to be for? It was called right before the defender got onto the bench. Unsportsmanlike conduct is going to be the call to Nicholas D'Amico. So has to have said something to the referee that he's making, or that he was running alongside the bench with. And obviously decided that whatever it was that he said had crossed the line. So now Finland with a chance here late, another opportunity on the power play to go up by 2.
One of those penalties that's really avoidable. You have to just sometimes eat it and just, you know what, let it go. But
especially early in the game too.
Yeah, 100%. In a 1-goal game too as well.
An early save by Shanahan and a nice one at that. And now Ireland looking for a short-handed marker. Ushitalo able to stay with the play. Some more pushing and shoving after the whistle. This one's got some fireworks in it already.
You can see the referee, she's breaking it up there. These guys are going at it early on. I mean, you love to see, you feel the energy. It definitely makes the environment feel more lively. These guys really care about this, and it definitely makes the games more entertaining to watch, no doubt about it.
Finland sounds like they want to hold for the final shot. Back up top, here's Kuyala. Jokela with a goal already in this quarter, bobbled it. Finding his way across, scores! Oh, the officials, they were a little bit late on the signal. Wasn't sure if that was going to be in the crease or not. It is going to stand, a buzzer beater with 4 seconds on the clock.
And ultimately, I mean, what a way to utilize, I was talking about a lot in the first game, but what a way to utilize all different sides of the field, starting from the near side over down low to the far side up top, and on the run, hitting the cutter. And again, a lot of offense so far in the first quarter. Oh my goodness.
And considering Finland trailed this quarter 2-0 at one point, now they've got the 2-goal advantage heading into the break, and we'll take advantage of that break as well. Shout out to somebody on the crew just came up and brought me a water bottle too. Didn't bring you one though. Tough, Jack, tough. We'll take a quick breather, back with more of the European Box Lacrosse Championships when we return. Back inside, LCC Radotín. I mean, shout out to the production crew. The graphic you're seeing on screen right now, the temperature 34 degrees, humidity 31%, a little bit of wind as well. I mean, shout out to the production crew in general. I mean, the graphics that they're putting on display here for this tournament have been so good. I mean, the production for the opening ceremonies for all the games have been so good. Just a high quality production here in Radotín, Prague. For the European Box Lacrosse Championships, Tino Farah, Luke Lee here for Finland versus Ireland. And the Finns might not have started on time, but by the end of that quarter, they were the better team.
No doubt about it. I mean, it was the fact that the first few minutes of the game were mostly just defensive stone walls, and both teams were able to really get it going on that side of the ball, and they were confident, they knew where they were going, and after that, it was just straight chaos. And I think that's really where this game is going to go unless these teams start to figure out something.
So Ireland gets the opening possession. They had some real good looks in the first quarter. Of their 3 goals, both of them coming, well, 2 coming from Patrick Quinn, and 1 coming from that man right there, as Connor Foley would be denied by Lauri Uusitalo with his first save of the quarter. Now Jokela looking for a fresh set of legs off the bench, can't connect on the pass. Now Joachim Miller sends it up the wall, watched on by the defender, and a chance to drive now for Jarno Aaltonen. He'll swing over. Reitala in battle and loses that as the second defender came in to scoop up the loose ball.
Finally, some defensive stops here, right?
Matt Duncan. Remember, this is a 1-0 game for a while until Ireland was able to pot another one home, and all of that before Finland found their offense, thanks in no small part to their power play opportunities. 2 for 3 on the man advantage, and both of those, coming on a 2-man advantage. Now they'll get it back up to their settled 5-on-5 offense.
Finland's doing a really good job here of spreading out this Ireland defense and allowing them to create space inside of that middle of the field, which allows them to have more generous angles if they want to go outside as well.
Prinyuk now over to Viren. In some trouble, just 3 seconds. Oh, a backhand shot by Peter Prinyuk. Close one, but it'll be possession Ireland on the failed opportunity.
And again, Finland spreading out the Ireland defense there is what allowed that cutter to be there and what allowed that shot to happen in the first place. They don't spread the defense out like that. There's no room for that shot to happen.
Matt Duncan working off ball. Here's Brian Gillis. Good swing over to the right. He's shot right on target. Uusitalo lost sight of the rebound. Ireland able to get it and denied somehow, some way by Uusitalo. How did he make that stop? Reset for the Irish. Gillis, he's got room, and he scores! You could feel that goal coming. Lauri Uusitalo doing everything in his power to keep his team with that 2-goal advantage, but finally, Gillis gets one through.
And again, that pick right there, that's the difference. The pick set by Patrick Brosnan, the difference between a goal and probably a shot that goes outside. Just enough space right there. And then you can see it goes just past the right shoulder of the goalie, goes right down in the bottom part, hits the white line, and what an absolute beauty of a shot. And that pick is all the difference between a good goal and probably a turnover.
And Ireland, who have been better at the face-off dot than the Finns to this point, will win the ensuing draw. Duncan gets it across to Foley. He and Patrick Quinn are going to try to pair up to make some more magic happen for Ireland. Duncan looks down low to the corner, parks behind, and it's going to be an interference call that goes against Ireland.
Again, Finland really bunched up the middle.
Oh, a chance in transition, they score! Off the bench, into the play for Jarno Aaltonen. Rips that 5-hole on Devlin Shanahan.
And not even a chance for Ireland to get ready on offense. And Tino, this is exactly the point we were talking about earlier. Instead of throwing that pass up high on the clear, you put it right on your man, hit him in stride, and then easily you're going to have an offensive player in transition. And you can see that's completely in motion. That's poetry right there. That's absolutely gorgeous. And that doesn't happen if you put that ball over the head and your guy has to stop to make the throw.
And that's the benefit as well of having somebody that's the size of Jarno Aaltonen. I mean, what, he's got to be 6'3", 6'4" at least. He's got the reach advantage on pretty well everyone on the floor. And as a left-handed forward, right now the change benefits him and his fellow left-handed forwards. Being able to step right into the offensive zone already on your proper side. Here come the Finns, back in front by 2. Up top, shot around a screen, a bouncer from Miller, handled by Shanahan. Ireland have not been able to get the score back to a tie game. Gillis with the sun in his eyes. Gets that to Foley. Now Gillis has it back. Again to Foley. He'll step into one. What a save. Ushitalo picked it out of the air. Oh, it falls out of his stick and almost trickles over the goal line. Now the Finns have to get this over center. They've got 3 seconds to turn on the Jets, excuse me. And a big collision over in front of the Finland bench. Who initiated it, though? It looks like it's going to be Finland taking the penalty. Right at the top of your screen. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell. Oh, I guess they're going to take both of them here. Accidentally on purpose, maybe?
It's been a chippy day so far. I
mean,
who's to say that somebody didn't just let that fall happen? Come on now.
Both holding penalties. Now the question, are these going to be offsetting, or will we see some more 4-on-4? We've already seen that for durations of this, and just looking down to the referee signaling for a side. So once again, the space opens up in the offensive zone. Finland are going to lean on Brett Kujala and Robert Radotín as their right-handed forwards. They did a ton of work together at the 2024 World Lacrosse Box Championships in Utica, New York. The set play for Radotín had him open in the middle for a moment. Ireland keeping the Finns to the perimeter for now. This is Radotín in the corner. He's going to try to drive low. Hops up high. Can't beat Shanahan.
Shows a lot of confidence from Ireland to keep their guys out there as far out the perimeter, essentially in an island, isolated. And that confidence pays off.
Now Gillis can't beat Ushitalo with another shoulder save. Big rebound. Oh, and Matt Duncan. I kind of agree with the Finland bench right now, complaining that should have been back over. Gillis is going to try to get another one. Backdoor, oh, off the outside of the goal. A close call for Ireland to get back within 1. So Ireland may have just gotten away with a foiled back over call, and they're going to try to make this costly against the Finns. Hard skip to the corner. Duncan spins, dives, scores. Down by 1. Another individual effort, but Matt Duncan gets his team back on the board.
Now Ireland switching up here on offense. They were very, very congested for the first part of this game, and you can see here they're a little bit more spread out. That allows Duncan outside as he's down low on the near side, right side. Allows him to kind of maneuver in a little bit, barrel roll, and then obviously make his way towards the crease and make that shot. As if they were as congested as they were, he wouldn't have had the space to get over there. Absolutely massive.
We haven't really been able to see Ireland get past this point. Now it's been a couple of times where we've seen them break that 2-goal deficit down to just 1, and then the Finns have always had the response right after. Might that be the same case here again? They're going to try with the lefties first as 4-on-4 continues. Kujala looking for a lane. Shot got blocked. Ricochets over to the corner. It's still loose, and 5 remain on the shot clock. Maybe a couple extra seconds to make a pass before shooting. But they will fire it on goal, and that will bring us to our first hydration break of this quarter. And again, you're going to see some of these teams. I mean, Ireland already, a few of the guys have hopped off of the bench to go and find some shade. Same thing could be said for Finland. Everybody getting the cold towels out. And over in the Finland corner, the netminder, Lauri Ushitalo, he's just finding the little tiny bit of shade that there is on the floor. And he's just going to hang out there for a little while. I can't remember if maybe we mentioned this in the earlier game. But I mean, again, the graphic there up on the scoreboard, you see how hot it is here at LCC Radotín. It's even hotter on floor level. Like something I said earlier is I went over to go talk to the Italian coaches to get some phonetic pronunciations of their names, just chat about the game coming up with them. And the second I'm down there, you know, it's immediately like 10 degrees hotter. You just start sweating right away. And when you think about the goaltenders that are sitting there oftentimes with the sun in their eyes, so much more gear than everybody else, you know, we're feeling for them, to say the least.
It's that turf for sure. I don't know if it's the concentration or just all the black underneath it. I don't know what it is, but yeah, you're right. When you're down there on that turf field, and it's not just this one, it's any turf field
for
anywhere.
Sure.
You go down on a turf field on a hot day, oh boy, better pack some water.
Yeah, our colleague Teddy Jenner was over in Korea last summer for the World Championships, the World Under-20s in field lacrosse. And yeah, some of the stories that he mentioned, basically just had a cold and wet towel nearby at all times to be able to just throw on your neck, get any kind of relief from the heat. You can only imagine what these players are battling through as Finland caused a turnover and they'll carry it over the center line. 6-5, they lead over Team Ireland with 9 minutes left in the first half. Tough pass to handle, but a good reception. Finland still have to get a couple of forwards onto the floor. Svirin came on a little bit late. Still one more player coming on. It's Jarno Aaltonen. Excuse me, it's Henrik. That shot goes off the stick of Foley, high into the air. And that is the shot clock going off, not a car alarm, ladies and gentlemen. But I mean, that may have hit a car out of the arena.
After the 6-goal run that Finland had, the last couple of possessions, Ireland's done a really, really good job of keeping everything in front of them. It's been a wall of white, so to speak, over the last couple of possessions for Finland, and been able to get a nice bit of momentum back on their side.
Now Grahan, he'll change after feeding back to Brian Gillis. Ireland trying to park someone behind the goal, but locked off right now by a Finnish defender. Shot from distance. That's fought off by Uusitalo. Gillis on the reset. Now a loose ball push is going to go against Ireland to end that possession. I was just going to say Ireland's been good at getting their resets, but too many times have those possessions then ended due to some probably unnecessary contact. Kujala open in the middle. They skip over top of him with the pass, and the shot goes wide of Shanahan's goal. That's going to be back over. Ireland can take the free clear here now. D'Amico skips to the corner. Waiting was Patrick Corbett. Now Connor Foley. Righty strong set, but the lefties are working at the near side. And oh boy, Finland's got a man down here. May have been a bit of a Charlie horse situation, knee on thigh. So we'll get another look at it here. A hard screen set, yeah, that's a stinger.
Never feels good.
Definitely not. Here's Peter Hryniuk. Hryniuk will skip. Nice pass, he'll get it back, or at least they try to. Kujala with a shot on goal, digging for the loose ball, batted towards center floor. Loose ball battle, and it goes the way of Finland. What an effort from Juho Petteri Aaltonen. Oh, and then that pass. What happened there?
I don't know where that was going.
Going into row 2. Souvenir for a lucky fan.
Bring it back for a price, huh?
Yeah, exchange it for a bottle of ice water. Nice pass through. Corbett robbed by Uusitalo. Gillis with it again. Gillis went down, or excuse me, it's down low beside him. It was Duncan. Now Gillis 1-on-2. Still 15 seconds on this shot clock, and Ireland have started to vacate to the defensive zone. What is going on here? Brian Gillis was going up against 3 Finland defenders, but I mean, if somebody's in there to give him a hand, there's still time to make something out of that possession. Now heavy hits along the sideboards. Ball is still loose. Another hard shoulder check, and somebody's got to check those boards and make sure they're not loose after that. Those are a couple of big bodies going hard with some contact.
Definitely can feel the content in the air between these two teams. It's been very physical.
Most definitely. Nice pass to Corbin on the backhand. Ushitalo in good position.
That was a perfect cut right there. That was right on time, but I mean, what are you going to do when the guy in net is just so on time as well? Ushitalo's been on one.
Hrenyuk with a hard pass. He'll get it back as well. Nice spin as he plants his foot. Veer in, a bouncer, scores! Oh, a beauty! Sidearm release, bounces to the top corner, and there's that 2-goal lead for the Finns once more.
That's a beauty of a shot right there. Great way to get it around, get the goalie out of place, and then you get it back outside of the far top side, and then the bouncer just outside with the goalie out of place. I mean, that's an absolute beauty of a shot and a great play setup for the Finns.
There's just an age-old saying, bouncers will go. Might not necessarily always be the prettiest option for a shot. Of course, everyone wants those beauties where you go bar down or off the post and in, but man, that is as pretty of a goal as you're going to see here at the European Championships.
As they say, they're going.
They are going. Possession is going to go to the Irish. 5:20 left in the half. Finland up 7-5 over Ireland after trailing in this game 2-0 early on. Carrying the momentum ever since then. Feels like it's been a little while since Ireland has been able to score a goal. Matt Duncan is going to try to change that. Pass missed his man. Foley has it in the corner. Still half of the shot clock available. He'll shoot. Goes wide of the goal. Gillis has it. Couldn't find a step. And that will wind up out of play off of a deflection. And possession now is going to go to Finland. We'll take a quick breather and step aside. 5 minutes remain here in the half. Finland up 7-5. Back with more after this.
Pivo z rodinného pivovaru, kde řemeslo a tradice jdou ruku v ruce.
More European Box Lacrosse Championship action is coming right up at LCC Radotín. If you've missed any of the action, Finland leading 7-5 over the Irish. Started the game down 2-0 thanks to a couple of power play goals on a 5-on-3. They found their footing, they found their confidence, and they've been carrying the bulk of the momentum ever since. The Finns have been red hot, especially since that 5-on-3 power play.
Absolutely. Their offense has been on point, and then defensively the last couple of possessions too, they've really stumped the Irish. There's not a whole lot that Ireland's been able to do on the offensive side of the ball, honestly, since the hot start. So if you're Ireland, you're going to have to reevaluate what you're doing and see what changes you have to make going into the second half.
They call it a game of runs for a good reason. And right now, Finland having themselves a real good run. Brett Kujala was denied the cut. They tried the dunk. No, they're going to wave it off. Oh, robbed of another potential goal of the tournament. The officials just don't like to have any fun here, hey?
No. I would give him the goal just because of that. I mean, oh my goodness.
Oh, what a save by Ushitalo, robbing Foley. Long bomb all the way up the floor. A little bit of cloud cover again as Devlin Shanahan comes way out of his crease, takes a hard slash from the forechecking Finn. Now Stahl draws a perimeter matchup. He's on his wrong side. Flips back to Gillis, puts it into the logo.
Again, a couple quick shots by the Irish, and you're starting to feel, I think they're starting to feel the pressure here. You got to not force those shots in there because you had opportunities to try to get something going on offense, feel the Finland defense out, and just back-to-back possessions kind of wasted where they go quickly to the shot and take it away by the Finns.
Hrenyuk Helps to get it over to the lefties. A drive shot stopped by Shanahan, reaching out of his crease, and he'll smother the rebound.
That's a good word, smothered.
Thank you.
He did. I mean, he absolutely did.
Now Matt Duncan, he's been playing out the offensive and defensive gate. That time he was staying for a defensive shift and then cleared the ball in transition. Now the forwards are going to try to work. Gillis feels like he's been out for every single shift for this group. Brosnan can't find a lane. He'll dish over. Corbett skips back across. Gillis can't get it on goal. Winds up out of play. A good setup by Ireland, but Gillis just puts it wide.
Setup's been there the whole day. It's just the execution on that specific play a little bit off. Heard Izzy make the throw, and then he was holding it a little bit low as well, and just pass gets away from him too high.
Maybe just gripping the stick a little bit too tight. This is a high pressure tournament here. As the top 11 will qualify for Worlds. Both these teams were represented at the 2024 World Lacrosse Box Championships, and now Ireland wind up taking another penalty. Don't think they fully realized it, trying to streak up the floor. And the Irish none too pleased with the call, but a call nonetheless. And Finland, they've been dynamic on their power play. They're going to get another look here now.
They absolutely have. And if you're Ireland now, you have to dig deep. 7 goals given up in the first half. You know, it is what it is, but after going up 2-0 and given multiple power play goals given up to Finland now, you have to really dig deep and say, hey, we got to get a stop here. We've been playing some quality defense over the last couple of possessions. Can we go out there and do it again?
So Finland's going to work up top. Quarterbacking this power play is Roope Jokela. Already with a goal in this game. Creating space for him. Oh, and a little bit of friendly fire, and Radotín can't dial it in. Another nice save by Shanahan. And by the looks of things, Ireland may want to go to goal here. They've got the offensive talent to score despite being shorthanded. One of the guys that can do that is Connor Foley. Scored the game's opening goal. Not a ton of urgency in his movement, but a nice jab step. He'll shoot. Ushitalo will fall backwards. That's stuck in his pad somewhere. It just falls free. That's an important save for him.
That was a hard shot by Connor Foley right there. I thought for a second that was actually a strong veteran move by Foley to kind of slow it down there and allow the time to go down a little bit, but unfortunately kind of forces it in there. Still a tough, really, really tight shot right there, but unfortunately maybe not the best shot selection, just given the circumstances.
Kuyala is going to quarterback this time. Another set play. The seam pass didn't work out. Jokela makes his defender stumble. He's picking up speed. Pass across, and again, Kuyala can't beat Shanahan. It's been snake bitten in this game. So many chances, just none of them have fallen. Now Clark from behind the goal gets it up to Corbett. The Finns are going to leave Brett Kuyala in the offensive zone in case they can get a fast break. But Ireland will leave a defender draped all over him as we speak. So right now you're seeing a 3-on-4 offensive set. Foley with a nice move. He'll turn and fire. Ushitalo with a late save. Oh, and a hit up high. A vulnerable player. That's, I mean, you hate to see that. That in no means was intentional by the Finnish defender. You could see the Ireland forward. You'll get a look at it here. Just kind of already falling forward. Yeah. I mean, hopefully he's going to be all right. It looks like he kind of got that in the top of the head, back of the neck type of area, and he gets back right up. But Severi Koskinen is going to take a seat for at least 2 minutes, and we'll see if this winds up being a major.
Some unnecessary contact right there, but also, like you said, pretty unavoidable. Not necessarily one of those plays where he's looking to make some contact, just kind of a set of bad circumstances.
So there was just 7 seconds left on the Finland power play. It is indeed going to be a major for an illegal cross-check. So the Finns now have to try to make sure that this is not going to be the turning point of this game against them. Remember, in the first quarter, it was a lengthy 5-on-3, which turned the tides in their favor. And now Ireland, it's going to be, I mean, in the next 7 seconds, it'll be just a traditional 5-on-4, but all sorts of time to try to make something happen. And regardless of if they scored here in the final 40 seconds of this half, this major power play is going to carry over to the third quarter. Here's Gillis at the point, to the corner. A late goal here would be huge for Ireland. Foley fakes the pass. Gillis and Foley will play a bit of catch. Gillis shoots. Pad stop by Uusitalo. And Finland streaking up the floor. They want that long bomb. The pass is off. It's good. Right on the money. And Finland may want a chance to go to goal here late in the clock. Finland will use their first half timeout. They'll hold for final possession. And now the question is going to be, so I'll pose this to you. If you're Finland, are you pulling your goalie here and trying to go 5-on-5 for one final shot on goal? Remember, there's about 12 seconds left on the clock. If you hold that and wait to run your play until about 7 seconds or so, theoretically speaking, Ireland should not have enough time to be able to throw that to the empty net.
I think you just answered the question for me. I mean, essentially that's what I was thinking. I mean, you got to hold on to it for a couple seconds. Don't give the opportunity for Ireland to extend down the field, especially with a late offensive transition, right? But at the same time, you want to go out there and you don't want to give Ireland a chance, but you also want to make sure you can give yourself a chance. And in worst case scenario, even if it does go all wrong, you're still up by 2 goals. It's not one of those things where it's the absolute end of the world.
We saw a similar play in the game this morning between Italy and Germany, and Italy wound up shooting very early in the clock and kind of giving up their opportunity at that last shot. So 12 seconds is on the clock. The net is indeed empty. Finland, keep an eye on when it gets to about 7 seconds. Now they're going to start to move. Jokela driving, he gets it to the corner. 3 seconds to get something on goal. Defended perfectly by Ireland. Still a late shot that'll be stopped by Devlin Shanahan, but the Irish defenders giving absolutely no room to Finland, even despite having the even 5-on-5 set. Well, what do you like so far from the opening half?
Well, there's a lot to like. I mean, I think the big thing is this game has kind of gone in different droves, right? So the first 5 minutes or 6 minutes of this game, it was all defense. For about another 10 to 12, it was all offense. In the last couple minutes of the half, it was all defense again. And to me, what that really says is this is high-level lacrosse. You got a bunch of great lacrosse players on both sides of the field. You have 2 really good goalkeepers, right? Straight up, everything about this game has been great. The only thing that you can really say, I think, if you're really nitpicking is, hey, maybe keep some of these penalties down, right? Be a little bit smarter with some of this late contact. But other than that, this has been about as good of a game as you could really ask. And as you would know as broadcasters, it makes it really easy for us to talk about it.
Definitely. We're having fun. He is Luke Lee. I'm Tino Ferry. You'll get a good look at the stats from the first half on your screen. We'll take a quick breather, refresh ourselves as well. And when we come back, it'll be time for the third quarter here at the European Box Lacrosse Championships.
2 minutes. 2 minutes, boys. 2 minutes.
You know what? Somebody's got to be.
Hey, I don't disagree. I always call one of my kids my favorite, depending on the time.
Well, the two teams have made their way, or are making their way, I should say, slowly back onto the floor. Finland fully on their bench. Ireland slowly but surely making their way across the turf, as you can see right there. If you've been paying attention to the temperature that's been thrown up on screen, well, you may be sad on our behalf to know that it's gone up a degree, now 35, and still plenty of this day remaining to get through. Actually, let's give you a quick update of the schedule on tap, specifically from LCC Radotín, because after this one, that's it for me and Luke Lee, but there are still some games going on. The later one on today in the men's division will be between England and the Netherlands. I believe Teddy Jenner is going to be on the call for that one. Teddy, if you're listening, text me if I'm wrong. And there will be a late game in the women's division right here between Czechia and Team Germany. That'll be at 7:30 local time from this very surface. That one I'm almost positive Teddy is on the call for. Your goal scorers for Ireland through 2 quarters. Patrick Quinn's got a pair. Connor Foley has one. Brian Gillis has one. Matt Duncan has one as well. A pair for each of Jarno Altonen and Peter Hryniuk, and then singles for Rupe Jokela and Robert Raitala, as well as Jimmy Viernen. So that wraps up your scoring summary for the first half, and the first possession now goes to Ireland, who, remember, there was that late 5-minute major for an illegal cross-check going against Finland, so all sorts of time on the power play for Finland to get back to their scoring ways, and Gillis has that deflect off the goaltender's glove and out of play. If I'm not mistaken as well, Finland has changed their goaltender, so Riku Jokela is in goal for them, and he's made a couple of saves. Good vision on the rebound as well, pointing it out to his defenders. They tried the dunk on Jokela, stayed with them. How about that save? Able to peek over his shoulder and get back across to the post.
I mean, what an impressive save right there. Like you said, to peek over the shoulder, be there step to step. And basically ending that possession where it started.
Now Miller short-handed. Devlin Shanahan's been the goalie the whole time for Ireland. And now a loose ball push gives possession back to Finland. Shanahan has been outstanding in this game so far. Take a look at this effort from Miller on the short-handed chance. The rebound goes skyward.
What a way to time that.
I mean, it is just a 2-goal lead for Finland, but in a strange way, that almost felt like it could have been a backbreaker had that gone. Being short-handed, and after a cold goaltender at the other end makes a few straight saves early. It's another chance for Kujala. Can't beat Shanahan. That's becoming an increased matchup. Brett Kujala versus Devlin Shanahan. Pass falls up top. Corbett still with time on this power play. 2:20 to work with. Corbett to Gillis as the shade starts to form over top here at LCC Radotín. Gillis, Corbett, twister, scores to the 5-hole, back within 1.
What an absolute beauty of a shot from Corbett, but absolutely beauty of a way to get that ball around from Ireland and ultimately get the shot for them as they went back to back to back, multiple different throws, and eventually they worked their way back to Corbett. But, I mean, again, it's just another example of basically just cat and mouse.
Yep.
Keep it away from the defense.
Just playing a bit, playing a bit of catch up high before the eventual twister fools the new netminder, Riku Jokela, coming in to start off this third quarter. And remember, because it was a major, Ireland stays on the power play. So a chance to tie this game if they can find possession. A hard screen is set. That knocks down the defender. Gillis now has it at the point. Corbett back on as well. Corbett across the floor. Now skip to the crease. Foley couldn't handle it, but he did a good job to avoid the crease. Oh no, the officials say he didn't. So he stepped through the crease and then did not vacate the play. That's another rule here that some people may be unaware of. If you get called in the crease yourself, but the play goes on, you have to establish yourself away from the play. You can't touch the ball yet. You can't engage with the defender. And that winds up giving possession to Finland very briefly, because Ireland will take it back on their own side of center. 1:15, Grahan for Gillis. Fakes the drop pass to Corbett. Remember, Gillis had the primary assist on the goal from Corbett a couple of minutes ago. Now into the final minute of this major power play. Gillis, backhand pass, low shot, handled easily by the netminder, Jokela. Now leaving for Miller. Draws the double team, flips that high into the air. Not all of the Ireland defenders had realized it. Now it's a 2-on-1 forming, driving for Stahl on his wrong side. And another stop for Jokela. Rebound goes to the corner. Bodies crashing and banging into the boards.
Finland was with him all the way on that shot. Obviously Jokela back in net as well.
Here come the Finns. This would be big for them if they are able to successfully almost entirely kill off this major. 1 goal against so far, but now down to the final 5 seconds of it. I would consider that a win for Finland in that category.
No doubt about it.
Penalty is over. Jokela sidesteps the crease, turns on a dime. 1 second to shoot, a blind backhander. Wow.
Some strong defense again to start out the half. Started out that way in the first half and now going back to it.
Now a big hit near center. Matt Duncan goes down hard, takes a peek around, no call from the stripes. 10.5 to play. Quinn across to the captain, Gillis, hard screen set. Gillis shoots, sidearm, it goes wide, bounces back over center. Shanahan storming out of his crease, but it will be a back over call, so Finland will get the free clear.
Again, what do you think they're going to try to take advantage of Shanahan stepping out like that? I mean, it's eventually they've got to put an offensive transition player in there and try to get him back inside the crease.
Well, we'll see what they can cook up on this one. Jokela takes a cross check into the face mask. That's going to be a penalty. Kujala spinning back. He's double teamed, still with it somehow, but he can't beat Shanahan. And now there will be another Finland power play coming up. Not sure if we'll get another look at this one or not, but it's another clear as day penalty going to be called this time against Ireland, as Rope Jokela went straight towards the heart of the defense and takes the cross check right between the eyes.
It's the second time Adamson has got it in a little bit of a scuffle post play, and definitely playing that enforcer role well for the Ireland defense. But again, especially after the 5-minute or the 5-minute major that Finland was able to kill off, this is a tough one for Ireland. Now down again.
Kujala, Jokela off the shoulder, gets his own rebound and a reset. Back up top to the point. Brett Kujala, wearing number 26 for this game. Jokela with room, fake shot, now he fires, and Shanahan with another save down on his knees. Ireland got to clear this. They throw this the length of the floor. Decide they're not going to be able to clear it themselves, so they just give it back to the Finland forwards.
Just gives you a second to get some things going on defense, maybe get a sub in or two, kind of collect yourself, allow yourself to reshape the defensive look. Honestly, not the worst look considering, not the worst decision considering the circumstances.
One-timer, Shanahan with the kick save. Goes out of play, and with that whistle, that'll be our hydration break. So the bench is looking for a little bit of a decision from the referees whose ball this is going to be, but it will indeed stay with Finland off the Shanahan save. And this kind of works in favor of Finland, I would say, because they can just use this as essentially a free timeout for their power play to try to just get things dialed a little bit. They've had some looks, have not been able to beat Shanahan. And oftentimes they're looking to the near side from Roope Jokela, going downhill and just shooting around a screen. But, I mean, we've talked about it all game long. Devlin Shanahan is having himself a game here, and this could be well out of reach for Ireland if not for him. He has helped put his team into a position where they can still stay in this game, and now they trail by just one.
And if you're Finland, the number one thing you have to do here is you have to confuse Devlin Shanahan. You have to get him out of position. You have to get him out of his groove, whatever it is. All right, you cannot let him keep doing this because there have been plenty of times where they've had looks and they just haven't really taken them to the full extent. And I think part of it just has to do with the fact they're very, very, like you said, set on where they're going to shoot, and they have to diversify their shot location to diversify where they are in the field. And I think once they get back to that, like they did in their little 6-goal run when they went down from 2-0 to take that 6-4 lead, or excuse me, that 7-5 lead, they need to get back to that.
Definitely, and oftentimes you'll see teams come out of a media break, or in this case a hydration break, and run some sort of a set play. Not sure if we'll see that out of Finland here or not, but just as I say that, quickly Tracy Kaluski calls the team back over to the bench with the whiteboard. So expect them to run some sort of set here to try to get, or try to catch the Irish defenders sleeping a little bit. You just saw a look at the back of Riku Jokela as well. I mean, we talk about Shanahan. Jokela's been good since coming in too.
I'd watch for a pick.
Now Kujala again at the point. Continues to play pass with Jokela. Now Kujala back over top. He'll shoot. Shanahan with the save.
Got the look they wanted. They set up the pick. Unfortunately, either just forcing it a little bit early or maybe not choosing the best shot location, as Shanahan kind of just stood up on that one and was able to stonewall it without much movement.
We have seen Finland use a similar look to that, but they wind up making the pass behind the goal or into the corner for a quick stick. This time, Kujala changes things up a little bit with an outside shot, but Shanahan again with the save, and now this will be possession Ireland. Everybody hooting and hollering down on the floor. Not too sure what that's about, but Finland possession. Once again, 15 seconds left on their power play. Got to be careful of shot selection here because you don't want to give a fast break to Ireland with a penalized player coming out of the box. Kujala, Jokela, always playing pass are those two. Jokela has it again. One more to the corner. Backdoor feed looking for Kujala. Doesn't work out. Radotín goes down. Kujala has it, and he shoots just as the clock expires. That's not going to go. Finland did not hear the whistle. They decided to continue to play, but referees emphatically wave that off immediately. It's going to remain a 7-6 lead for the Finns.
Again, Finland trying to utilize that middle of the field despite being primarily where Ireland is defensively. A little bit confusing there. I don't know why they didn't utilize behind the crease.
Now Gillis getting roughed up through the middle. Nice pass towards the front of the crease. Just doesn't quite work out as well as they had hoped. Finland looking to clear, in some trouble right now with the forechecking Irish. They've got 3 seconds to get over the line, and finally it'll be carried forward by Tuomas Tilkinen. Hounded by Matt Duncan. Out for another offensive shift. He may stay and play a D shift too. Looks like he will. Roope Jokela Dispossessed on a stick check by guess who? Matt Duncan. Finland still with it. Miller tucks, and he tries to shovel one through. Look out, Shanahan comes storming out of his crease again. And it'll be a shot clock violation. All sorts of chaos at the Ireland end of the floor.
And what a course of events. I mean, oh my goodness. The contact is Ireland just swarming to the ball right there.
Foley cuts back, scores! Tie game! Foley gets another!
And for the first time in what feels like forever, an offense finally goes down and does something. As what a play by Foley. Nice little move right there to keep the defender off guard. That was the difference right there. It also fools the goalie to try to move a little bit inside, which creates that opening. Little spin to move, oh my goodness. Actually, he goes too far inside, actually thinks he's gonna keep going. But ultimately, it leaves the middle of the goal open, and it's an easy dump.
There are a ton of Ireland fans here in attendance. You could probably hear them cheering loudly. They were one of the teams. There was a handful of teams for the opening ceremonies that, I mean, the crowd just went absolutely bonkers for when they were announced onto the floor. Ireland was one of those teams, and they have brought their fans in attendance. There's a nice reception by Quinn, but as he spun around, he lost possession. Now the forecheck from Ireland. We haven't seen this much today. Caused a turnover, and it's in. Is this going to count? Not signaled by the referees yet. Connor Foley goes crashing hard into the crease due to some contact, and it does not look like this one's going to count.
He was falling into the crease as he was releasing that ball. I don't think so.
Yeah, that definitely looked like there was a knee down or at least some contact with the goaltender before that crossed the line. Remember, it is not like what you would see in the NLL here, and there are no challenge flags that can be thrown, no reviews, aside from what our production crew cheekily will just put up onto the screen for everybody to watch a couple of times. Good job down there, everybody. Checking from behind is going to be the call. That'll give possession back to Ireland. And what a turn of events this would be. They were up 2-0. The score has only ever been tied, or they've trailed ever since. Now with an opportunity to get things back to how they kicked off this game. Matt Duncan is in the corner. Brian Gillis is at the point. Gillis has it again. He and Corbett will play a bit of catch. Back across. Duncan, backhand feed. Up top. Gillis winding, firing. Stop. In tight. So that's handled well by Riku Jokela once again, and he'll look up for the pass himself.
Fell into the knee pad right there on the sidearm shot. That was a really strong shot.
Brian Gillis can certainly rip that thing on goal. Now a nice bit of spinning by Rupe Jokela. He wants to go to the crease, and he scores! It's going to count! A shorthanded goal from Rupe Jokela, and the Finns are back on top.
And what a play from Jokela. He just takes that down the alley, dives right in front of the crease, and just manages to get it off before he makes contact. He falls right through, goes right through a defender, and what a dive. That's absolutely gorgeous.
There may have been some contact afterwards. Ireland has just taken a penalty by the looks of things, and there's an injured Finn getting up off of the turf with some help of a trainer. You can see heavy on the limp there. You're looking at Robert Radotín. Okay, so an unsportsmanlike go to each of Neil Adamson and Marcus Matila. So now we'll see 4-on-4. I think, yeah, I just heard someone say 4-on-3. This should be 4-on-3 because Ireland was on a power play. That was just a shorthanded goal for Finland. So they're going to call those offsetting, and 5-on-4 will remain in favor of Finland. So those extra penalties should come off the board. And I mean, still, this feels like an important power play now, even more so for Ireland, to not let this one feel like it's getting out of reach.
No doubt about it. I mean, that's the kind of play that takes the winds out of your sails if you're a defense. You need to go out there on offense and respond, especially when, I mean, you were up defensively, so you're never expecting to give up a shorthanded goal. So like you said, absolutely massive for Ireland to try to respond with that and show that the offense is just flowing in this.
Bit of an issue with the score clock. Now they do take the penalties off the board on the offsetting ones, but now the issue is they got to figure out how much time was left on the original Finland penalty, so that can go back up because, again, Ireland is going to remain on the power play. Getting close to our next media timeout, which is another case in which, I mean, we talked about how that benefited the Finland power play when they had the hydration break. He basically had a free timeout to try to drop a play. Ireland might find themselves in that similar position as well, depending on how things play out here, if there winds up being a whistle.
It's funny how those things kind of play out, right?
So they've got a little over a minute on the power play. Once the clock winds down, under 5 minutes left in the quarter, the next whistle should bring immediate timeout. Corbett, Gillis, Corbett to Gillis again. Those two will switch. As Gillis goes to the far side, Shooter, and Jokela makes that left arm save.
Faked the pass on the shot. Almost had him. Almost had me.
Sold the broadcaster on the fake, huh?
Right.
And Kuyala hoping for the penalty to be called, and there is one that's going to go to Ireland. Pass across the floor, didn't work out. So that's going to be the whistle that, I mean, a couple of minutes ago Ireland was hoping for, but in this case, that's going to bring an early end to their power play. And eventually, we're going to see some 4-on-4 now for 30 seconds or so before we get to yet another Finland power play.
Power plays have been going back and forth, and saw quite a bit of that in the first game between Italy and Germany, and it's been a relatively high-scoring one in this one. Obviously had some stretches of nice defensive play, so the question is here, how's Ireland going to respond? Like you said, they were known for their defense and goalkeeping going into this one, so you're really going to have to lean on that identity to try to keep yourself in this one.
So Radotín puts it wide. Kuyala can't corral it. He'll get another chance to do so, and he will. Some of the best hands in this tournament belong to Brett Kuyala. Now they try the dunk. What a save from Devlin Shanahan. Are you kidding me with that? What a perfect time for us to go to a commercial break. Take another look at this stop. Oh my goodness. For Devlin Shanahan, that is just outrageous. And with that, we'll step aside for a quick breather and come back for the final 5 or so minutes of this third quarter. Thanks for joining us, the European Box Lacrosse Championships.
The Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world.
Somehow we got to settle ourselves down after that outrageous Devlin Shanahan stop on the Finland dunk. That was just incredible. We'll take a look here at some of the stats thrown on board by our production crew. Look at the power play advantage in totality for Finland. 7 power play opportunities. They're on one here as well. 1 for 3 are the Irish. Well, now Finland is going to be on the power play as the final seconds of the 4-on-4 wind down. Foley will flip across, and now Ireland shorthanded. Feels like another big kill, but they trail within 1. Oh, and now there's another Finland penalty coming up, excuse me. Well, an early end to that power play. Only, I mean, what was that by the end of it? Maybe 20 seconds?
It's being generous.
Being generous, really. And, I mean, that's something that you talked about going into the halftime break is, like, if you're being nitpicky, you probably want to just say, hey, guys, we're playing pretty well overall. Let's stay out of the penalty box. And, I mean, that's continued to be a factor here in this game. The Finns are kind of just gifting Ireland these opportunities to chip away and climb back into this game. Fortunately for them, Ireland has also been taking themselves off of some of these power plays as well.
Both teams have been ultra aggressive. You definitely felt the chippiness, and it's just come down to that, and I think the Heat's also probably not helping with that.
Gillis will shoot off a stick and wide. Bounces into the back of a Finnish defender, and now they can go. They scored a shorthanded goal in this quarter already. Maybe a chance for another one, but Shanahan makes the stop from his knees.
Again, another great shave by Shanahan. He's been on one all day. I mean, I'd like to see how many shots he's faced.
Now here comes Ireland. 40 seconds away from, I mean, it'll be a shortened power play, but a power play nonetheless. Gillis, skip across. That goes well wide from the stick of Patrick Quinn. Now Gillis, defended from distance. He'll shoot through that screen. Big rebound, but the shot clock is going to wind down. And possession once again going to go back to Finland. All sorts of barking between the two benches. You can hear it as soon as there's a whistle every single time.
Even though they kind of ran out of time on that possession, I actually like the idea of them bouncing the ball off the walls and trying to create different shooting opportunities that way, as there hasn't been a lot of space to work with, especially in this second half so far.
Jokela hits the cutter. Shanahan stays with him, and he bends backwards to make sure that doesn't roll anywhere near that goal line. What a save from Devlin Shanahan. Corbett absorbs a slash. Dishes across. Brian Gillis out for another tour of duty on the power play. They are on their regular power play now. They've got 30 seconds remaining to do some work. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Corbett fakes the pass, looking to the short side on the twister once again. Can't beat the goaltender. High pass out of the reach. Falls down to the turf. And there goes the shot clock. The Finns will have to clear their zone, but they can kill off the final 10 seconds of this Irish power play.
It's a great opportunity for Finland. Way to sit in your boots, go in there, get a stop, and like you said, now you can kill the final seconds of a power play for Ireland.
Oh, a telegraph pass. That could have been much worse. So we're back to 5-on-5. Let's hope that it stays at 5-on-5 for the rest of this game. 90 seconds remain in the third quarter. Ireland, trailing by 1. Matt Duncan gets it to the corner. Can't find a shooting lane. Patrick Corbett back across the floor. Gillis fires. Another stop made by Riku Jokela. So a fresh 30 now for Ireland in the final minute of the third. Gillis had to reach for it. Finds it in his pocket. Duncan going to the goal on the roll. Denied by the stick of Jokela once more. That is just a picture-perfect pick and roll from Ireland. But when a goalie's hot, they're hot. And Riku Jokela, since coming into this game, what a performance he's put on at that end of the floor. Nice feed in front, and Shanahan makes another save. And guess who it's on? Brett Kujala just can't buy a goal right now. Now 20 seconds left. Goaltender to the bench for Finland. Extra attacker coming on. Streaking onto the floor is Peter Hryniuk. Now we go down to 10. Jokela has it in his stick. He's going to get underneath. Backpedals away. They'll feed behind the goal. Now to the cutter. Pass doesn't work out. And it'll be launched down the floor as the clock winds down to zeros. It's all going to come down to the final quarter, and I think I speak on behalf of both of us here, Luke. I would not have it any other way. We're going to bring you the entirety of that fourth quarter when we return here at the European Box Lacrosse Championships. Back inside LCC Radotín. One more quarter coming up next in this nail biter. 8-7 right now. Finland leads over Ireland. And I think both teams could argue here, Luke, should say Tino Farah, Luke Lee here with you. Both teams, I think, would argue that they're getting pretty strong performances from their goaltenders at either end of the floor. And typically speaking, you know, from the teams that I've been on in the past as well, when you're in a situation like that, at this point in a game, part of the message on the bench is, guys, we got to do it for our goalie here. He has saved us a couple of times. Let's try to reward him and ourselves with a solid effort, all offensively speaking. You're getting a look at the game leaders right now on screen. But again, both teams have to find a way to stay out of the box. They've both been guilty of it, and if they are going to find a way to reward their respective goaltenders, the trip to the penalty box is not going to help whatsoever.
No doubt about it. And you can't have any penalties like unnecessary contact. You can't have somebody jabbering off to the officials and getting sent to the box for that, right? You just can't have any of those small mistakes here. You have to go out there and save your best lacrosse for the final quarter, because it's a one-goal game right here. This has been as close as it's gotten the whole day. And it's been a totally different game, I feel like, each quarter to quarter. The first quarter, it was a lot of defense to start out, then great offense. The second quarter, great offense to start out, defense to end it. And then the third quarter was mostly entirely defense and a lot of penalties. So you got to clean some things up here going to the final fourth quarter. And I think the question kind of comes in here, like you said, is how are you going to clean up some of these mistakes? And what are you going to have to do to be able to win this for your goalie?
You got to find the line between the aggressiveness. Of course, you want to have the upper hand. It's a very physical sport, as we're all very well aware. But you got to find that line and toe it. The officials have set their standard. By the fourth quarter, you have to have figured it out. You cannot just continue to gift your opponents these opportunities. There's somebody that can certainly put the ball in the back of the net. Connor Foley's on 2 goals. And here comes Finland. They want to try to keep things at 5-on-5 for the remainder of this game. A late change will bring on Kuyala. Hard to believe he does not have a goal in this game. If I saw correctly, and if I remember correctly, I believe he finished 5th in scoring overall at the World Championships in 2024. That one goes off the post, and it's in! What a start in the opening minute for Finland, and they're back in front by 2.
And Finland just doing a really good job of getting that ball around there. And it looked like for a second, I'm not sure entirely, we'll see here in the replay, it looked like for a second it was a late offensive transition that came in. Either way, no, it wasn't actually, but either way, he was sitting up top, ultimately comes in late, sits there for a second, and just enough delay in that movement so that the defender is a little bit off-put and a little bit flat-footed, and that's a pretty easy catch and throw into the net.
It's a big start for the Finns. Some friendly fire, though, as they go crashing into each other. Everybody back to their feet. Ireland with possession. They've typically had a good response following a goal allowed. Brosnan for Gillis. Brosnan sets the screen. Pass doesn't come. Instead, here's Corbett. He'll tuck. Brosnan open in the middle. Took an extra step and ran out of space. Ball is still down. Up for grabs. Finland will collect, but Ireland fully forechecking, and no, they're going to say a shot clock violation. I guess they won't say that Finland had complete control to give them the reset. That may be a lucky break for them.
Again, Ireland struggling to create separation on the offensive side of the ball. They have not been able to spread this Finland defense out, and it's really limited what they can do on offense, and it's slowed them down since the early start.
Krinyuk hit the roller, Altonen back across to the lefties, and Viren puts it into the stick of Shanahan. D'Amico bobbled it, and he's laid out. A stiff shoulder check while trying to pick up the loose ball in transition. Bodies booming here in the fourth quarter of our second game of the day.
That was a heck of a textbook hit right there, and it was right perfectly timed as well, and prevented a potential big play for Finland.
Now Stahl in transition off the turnover. Oh, and he's hammered into the boards late. That's going to be a penalty to Finland. Stahl bounces right back up, but he is very much so on the limp. And here comes another Ireland power play.
And the Finland defense has been really, really physical to start this fourth quarter out. They were physical, obviously, throughout the whole game, but especially on the previous possession, as well as this possession, just back-to-back big hits, and it's just been physical throughout. And like you said, adds another penalty, another potential power play for Ireland. And this is where you kind of have to look at it like, hey, we've been gifted so many of these throughout the game that we have to finally take advantage of it.
Yeah, given opportunities, you're just going to be questioning yourself if Ireland does not wind up winning this game. Gillis and Corbett oftentimes play catch on the man advantage. They do so here. Corbett shoots off the shoulder. Another nice save by Riku Jokela, but a reset goes the way of Ireland. Corbett, Gillis. They once again play some pass. Corbett can't find a lane. Gillis dragging some more, gets a shot on, and another save by Jokela. Finland hollering for a penalty to be called on Ireland. They're not going to get it. Shot looking to the 5-hole, another nice save for Jokela.
3 straight saves essentially right there, and not a whole lot of space for Ireland to operate even in the power play opportunities. Finland's just doing a great job of suffocating them and not giving them a lot of space to work with.
Now Rupe Jokela. He'll swim, left the ball behind. Now he's got to get to the bench quickly to get the penalty killers back on. Power play's got under a minute. The saves continue to pile up in this second half for Riku Jokela. If you missed it, he did not start this game. Lauri Ushitalo was the starting netminder, and then he got given the rest of the afternoon off as of halftime. Corbett now at the point. Fires, and is that in? It trickled onto the line. Oh my, a close call for Jokela. Got a piece, and it wound up being enough. That was dangerously close to trickling over the goal line.
That did look like for a second it would, but I guess just not enough distance carrying behind the ball right there. But that was really, really close. That one was so quick that you didn't even realize it was in his legs.
And now Ireland will get possession back, but that's going to do it for the power play. Another unsuccessful set for them. They are going to be kicking themselves if they wind up losing this game. Trail by 2, 10.5 to play. Nice move by Foley. Ran out of room though, so he has to flip it across to his captain, Brian Gillis.
A lot of the inability to capitalize on some of these positions have been partially just due to the fact that we are in the first game of the tournament. These guys are a little bit fresh coming off the plane, and they've been here for a couple days now, haven't really played, so I think some of this stuff is definitely going to be fixed as the tournament goes on. But yeah, definitely a little bit frustrating for both sides.
Still a 2-goal lead for the Finns. Viren went cutting through the middle. Pass never found him. Now back across on a nice feed from Radotín. A diving shot. Stopped by Shanahan. Ireland back up, led by Graham. Matt Duncan. His minutes in this game have to be through the roof with the amount of time he's played. Now a spin shot, rebound, scores! What a goal off the rebound from Matt Duncan. Finland will pot it home thanks to Luke Kopinger.
And what a play from Matt Duncan, a heck of a spin move. I mean, that was beautiful. That was absolutely gorgeous. That's pressing the B button at the perfect time. And then Luke Kopinger, just a great job to be at the right place at the right time, and the second chance knock in, and that is absolutely massive for Ireland. But I mean, that's all from Matt Duncan, just making an excellent play, and then just having the high IQ to keep the head up and realize, hey, the ball's still out there.
Just a crucial goal for Ireland. But again, like we've talked about, they've gotten to this point before where they trail within 1. But they haven't really been able to get it back to tie. I think at one point they tied the game, but Finland otherwise has held the lead for the vast majority of this game. Brosnan running out of room, somehow avoids the crease, got the shot off as well. Jokela with a nice stop there. Gillis gets the reset. Righty strong for the Irish. Gillis sees a matchup that he likes. Gets it back across. Corbett over top, and a stick save knocks that into the air. Gillis battling for it, and he gets another reset for Ireland.
That's just grit right there from Gillis to bring that one in there. And you have to fight for those ground balls, and that's going to be the difference between you getting another offensive opportunity like this or turning it over and potentially giving Finland a chance.
And they tie the game after Brosnan went down hard. They're finally able to get things back to even over or just about halfway through this quarter. Take another look at this.
I mean, that all starts with Patrick Brosnan to stay up on his feet. He's getting taken down by two guys, so he's going backwards the other way to put that throw on target to get it to Gillis to begin with, and then Gillis lets it go immediately on the left sidearm shot. I mean, absolutely gorgeous, and then found the perfect angle to put that one. I mean, that is a thing of beauty.
You lean on your captain in the big moments, and Brian Gillis is able to get one through to tie this game, and now we'll go to a hydration break. Feels like there could not possibly be a better time for one of those than right now. Ireland's going to be feeling pretty good about themselves, and on the other side, Finland maybe reeling a little bit, but a chance to just reset, grab some water, and let's take a look at some of the highlights that we've seen so far in this game. This was an early goal in this quarter when it seemed like Finland got off on the right foot and maybe like they were going to start to assert their dominance a little bit. I believe this was the goal from Robert Radotín, who just floats it over the shoulder. But then from that point forward, Ireland really started to step up and find some success themselves.
No doubt about it. I mean, it's been a great game through and through. Both teams have had their moments, and it just feels like it's going to be down to whoever has the ball last. It's one of those games. But then again, it's like, who knows, right? Because both goalies have been playing great. I mean, even those last two goals that have gone in, those were two great shots that really you can't put on the goalie. I mean, a second chance knock in, right? And then the shot from Brian Gillis off the sidearm. I mean, that is literally what you define as a game of inches.
And, you know, with the risk of potentially jinxing this, I will say there has not been an overtime game yet in this tournament. You know, it feels like this game is born to go to overtime.
Does.
You know, I mean, as a broadcaster for the both of us and for our cameraman extraordinaire to my left as well, I mean, the heat is pretty tough. I don't think everybody in the booth would necessarily love for this game to get extended to extra innings, but man, oh man, the excitement would be pretty incredible. As Gillis will start off the possession. The captain just got his second of the game and tied this one up for Ireland. Pass in front, couldn't connect with Patrick Quinn. Out of the hydration break, Ireland trying to run a play, and they're likely just going to have to settle with a late shot on goal if they can make something happen. Foley tries the shoulder down drive and skips it across the floor to Gillis, and that's going to do it for the shot clock. 9-9. This game continues on with under 8 minutes to play in regulation. Robert Radotín kicked off the scoring here early on in this quarter. Gave his team the 2-goal advantage. Here he is with it again. Working with Kujala. Radotín dropped it out of his stick. Tough handle, and that's going to be back in against Ireland, as they knocked it into their own crease from outside after being deemed with possession. Ireland able to send out one fresh set of legs, but otherwise all those defenders had been out for the previous entire 30-second shift. Radotín, righty strong for Finland. This is Kujala. Across now to the lefties. Jokela, and now back over to the near side. Radotín will spin off a check. Hryniuk helps to get it over to the lefties. Viren will drive, he'll shoot, stopped by Shanahan. Ireland want to push, slow numbers here, drop behind. Lane is there, but ripped to the short side and out of play. Defender getting that shot, but not on goal. Alexander Bean just couldn't quite get that in towards.
Can't resist the step down shot with that much room right there. I mean, I can't blame him for taking it.
Everybody wants to be the hero right now. Under 7 minutes now left in regulation. Possession, Ireland. Again, they clearly want to work with speed. 3-on-3, they enter the offensive zone. Maybe numbers. Gillis with an early shot and a great stop by Jokela. Man, oh man, Gillis was just shot out of a cannon onto the floor.
That looked like he had it there for a second. I mean, that was a heck of a save. Just barely able to get there in time.
This crowd would have gone crazy had that gone in. Now Jarno Aaltonen across. Kuyala denied by the kick save from Shanahan. Once again, Ireland up the floor. This time they want to go slow and methodical. Use the clock. Winds down under 6 minutes in regulation. Brosnan. He's going to try to work his way low. Now finds topside. Matt Duncan creating space. Bobbled the pass. Now he's tied up by 2 defenders. Still comes free of the pile. Gets it across. And it's fired wide. Oh, big rebound off the end board. The chance to put that into an open cage. But Brosnan just couldn't quite find control of that.
I mean, there was multiple chances at a second opportunity shot there for Ireland. Multiple different shots and multiple different stops.
Brinyuk, he's going to spin and drive, and another shoulder stop made by Shanahan, maybe his biggest of the game. Every play, every save, increasing in importance the closer this thing gets towards the conclusion, and rebound unavailable on another low stop made by Shanahan. D'Amico is going to lob that over to Corbett. The captain is back onto the floor. Gillis off ball right now, waiting for the rest of his reinforcements to get on. Low pass handled well by Brosnan. This is Gillis. Brian Gillis across. Transfer fully denied by the stick. Chance now for Finland. Maybe numbers. They got a man to the back door. Pass is blocked. They'll keep possession here. Jokela. A bounce pass over to the half wall. Running out of time here. Haven't really been able to get anything settled towards the goal. And Shanahan aggressively at the top of his crease makes an easy save.
Definitely some confusion defensively or offensively on where they were going to set their play up. And unfortunately, might have wasted a possession for Finland.
Duncan sees an open Gillis. He'll be out there every shift going forward. I mean, as if he hasn't already been. He's played pretty well the entirety of this game, it's felt like. Now Ireland may have just turned it over. Some rough stuff in the middle of the floor. Corbett mixing it up with his man. They'll separate. Rebound off the end boards, and Ireland will settle with just dumping this deep into the corner. And that is going to bring us to our final media timeout of this game. 3:40 on the clock, dead even at 9-9 between Finland and Ireland. We'll be back with more after this.
Pivo z rodinného pivovaru, kde řemeslo a tradice jdou ruku v ruce.
The feeling of overtime is just looming in the booth right now. The anxiousness from everybody on staff. You never know. Under 4 minutes to play. It's even at 9-9. The clock started running a little bit early. Went down about 6 seconds. No harm, no foul, though. Finland will start off from their own side of center. Remember, keep in mind as well, both teams still have their second half timeouts that they can use. And I feel like likely one or both of those will be used in the coming minutes. Nice pass through Jokela, denied by Shanahan. Rebound falls underneath of him.
And again, the play design has been there for both offenses today, but it's just been the goalies in the nets that have been out there having some fantastic days, and it's taken away some really strong offensive game plans.
And Shanahan might be in a little bit of trouble. We'll see. The trainer has come on. Just a little slow to get up. Remember, he does do, the partial splits there. He goes down on one knee while his left leg is fully extended. You hope that that is not any kind of majorly resulting injury. Hopefully, in this case, it is just the heat and he needs an extra drink of water. He gets back up and he's shaking out that right leg. We'll get another look at that save. And you can just kind of watch. He's not getting up there, not because he wants to hang on to the rebound necessarily. It's because I don't think he could really get up. But shaking out that right leg now, it seems like he's going to be okay enough to stay in, and that's massive for Ireland. This game is completely different, if not for his performance so far today.
No doubt about it. Especially with the long scoring drought that Ireland had for a long time. And at one point they were outscored 7-3 after taking that 2-0 lead. So no doubt about it. They're not in this game without Devlin Shanahan, no doubt.
Gillis gets crunched. Get Matt Duncan going to the goal. He'll feed Foley. That goes well wide. Oh, see, it's going to be a fresh bruise for referee Cam Anderson. Hard off the boards and right into his shoulder. Did I mention that refereeing is a thankless job? Now a chance to go, maybe with numbers off the bench. Shot stopped by Shanahan, and he'll cover it once more as it falls into his pad.
Another stop from Devlin Shanahan. He's been absolutely man. And it feels like the split thing from a second ago, not really making much of an impact, even if it is, because
Finland, they went right back at him. Gillis will backpedal away. Foley has it again. His last shot missed the net. He'll look to get it on goal. A stick save, and the rebound bounces behind the goal. Jokela nervously spins around to make sure that is indeed behind the goal. And he'll need to make likely another save here, as a loose ball push is going to give possession back to Ireland.
That is so close to an error. Self-induced almost.
Game of inches, as they say.
Absolutely.
Now Gillis, the leader of this group, passes to Duncan, in alone, scores! Ireland finally take the lead back late in this game with 1:49 to go. It's Matt Duncan with the finish.
And Tino, you've been talking about it all day ever since Finland had the lead. Honestly, since the end of the first half, you were talking about it. Hey, if Finland goes down in this game, they're going to go back to all of the power plays that they have not been able to convert, and now you have to be thinking about that. Matt Duncan, the comeback started with him, and it looks like now, up by one, it very much could end with him.
Remember, Matt Duncan created the goal. He didn't score it, but he created the goal that wound up getting Ireland within one before Brian Gillis would tie it ultimately at 9. It's been a while since Finland has found the back of the net, and we'll see if and when they want to use their timeout. 1:37 is on the clock. There's an injured Ireland player down on the floor, and it does look like Finland has called their timeout, unless that whistle just came due to the injury. And yeah, it's hard to tell there. I don't know if there's a slash on him or if that's a non-contact injury. Remember, dehydration, a major factor in this tournament right now with the heat wave. Yeah, that looks like a cramp to me.
Yeah, probably a Charlie horse or something like that. Just something, that lower leg area just.
Well, again, so if this is a whistle due to the injured player and it's not indeed a timeout for Finland, we'll wait for some confirmation of that. But that benefits Finland greatly because they've just gotten a chance to come around the whiteboard, draw up what they want to see in these final, 97 seconds of regulation. and they may still have their timeout to use if they need it. Remember, Ireland also does still have their timeout, but right now their concern is O'Gorman, who gets up with some help of a trainer, and hopefully that is just a bad cramp. Hopefully they can get some water back in him. His day might be done. We'll see, especially with the limited time available and Ireland up by 1. But you just hope that he's not going to have to miss any major time here in this tournament. So it's going to be Finland ball. The shot clock is 3 seconds through it. Paused at 27. 1:37 is what's left in regulation. Jokela will stay in goal for the Finns. 5-on-5 continues on here. Rupe Jokela with it. Backpedaling away. Pass just missed the target, Peter Hryniuk. Now battling for the loose ball. It's knocked free. He'll spin that towards the goal. Shot just wide. Oh, what a grade A chance that was for the Finns. Not on goal, though. And a great stop by Shanahan. What a save on the one-timer. The Finns will get possession back, and now they will call their timeout. Take another look at this last-second save.
What a play from Shanahan to shift over from one side to the other. He was all the way over on the near side, closer to the broadcast booth. And just like that, he's done it a number of times, just able to shift over to the far side.
That is just an outrageous save from Devlin Shanahan. What a benefit it is for the Irish to have him in goal. The little bit of shade that he's getting right now is very well deserved, and that feels like the understatement of the day. But now the pressure is on for the Finns. 67 seconds is what remains in regulation, and look at the power plays that they have had. Chances are 3 power play goals in a game, fantastic. But when you think of the overall number that they've had, if they lose this game by 1, that's what they're going to be looking at. The chances that we had given to us, served on a silver platter, but getting arguably outplayed by Devlin Shanahan, maybe individually, especially here as of late.
Especially when Ireland's just 1 for 5 on the power play today as well. It's not like either team has done super well on that avenue. I mean, Finland's arguably done better than Ireland has.
Definitely, but I mean, Ireland's in front now, so
that's all that matters.
Exactly. Kujala, as Jokela is still in goal for Finland. They're going to continue 5-on-5 now into the final minute. Shot denied by Shanahan. Another big stop with the left shoulder. Finland on the reset. No look. One-timer! Shanahan with an unbelievable save. Now the net is empty for the Finns. They're going to go 6-on-5. And the refs got to come together to discuss something. What a save from Devlin Shanahan. How many times have we said that?
It almost gets redundant because it happens so often, but I mean, what else are you going to say? That's almost unworldly stuff, especially in that panic.
Well, here we go. Kujala, topside, feeds across. Jokela! Tie game! 38 seconds on the clock.
Wow, that was fast. That was real fast. Jokela just getting the pick there, or excuse me, the pick being set up to him. It delays the defender, Nicholas Diamaco, just enough to where there's a little bit of an opening. It allows him to make the step down sidearm shot. And wow.
That shot goes off the post and in. If you're going to beat Devlin Shanahan, clearly you're going to have to go to the outskirts of the goal. My, oh my, what a game we've been treated to here. Ireland still has their timeout. Finland calling for the back over. They're not going to get it, and now Ireland will use their timeout. 30 seconds on the clock. They've got 24 on the shot clock. So you're kind of, it's tough to say at this point, you know, do you want to pull your goalie and hold for that final shot? But if you don't get the loose ball back, then all of a sudden Finland has 6 seconds to try to get it the length of the floor and maybe into an empty net.
No doubt about it. I mean, yeah, you have to just look at who do you trust more? Do you trust your offense or do you trust your defense more? Do you trust your defense a little bit more than you trust your offense? Maybe keep the goalie in net, right? Or maybe you go a little more aggressive and you keep you take the goalie out of net. But if you trust the offense a little bit more, hey, maybe we keep the goalie in the net because maybe we don't need to, right? It all just comes down to what do you want to go with here, and just based on how this one has gone with how back and forth, I would kind of advise against taking the goalie out of the net, especially with how the day that Shanahan's having.
Well, it looks like Shanahan is going to stay on goal. Ireland's going to go 5-on-5. They're going to start up top with Matt Duncan standing on the left of your screen. And here we go. 30 seconds left in regulation. Tie up 10-10 between Finland and Ireland. Matt Duncan just now will move the ball. The shot clock winds down to 12. 18 to play. Duncan with it again. He wants the drive. He'll spin. He'll shoot just wide of the goal. Ireland still have 3 seconds to shoot. Gillis missed it. Now there's 5 seconds left. It's a chance to catch up to the ball, and they're going to let the shot clock expire. Now there's a collision near the change box, and the clock hadn't actually started yet when the pass went through. Finland's bench irate right now with something behind the play. They should put a second back on the clock, but they may just let them go. 5.4 now, so they do add a couple. And the ball's going to have to start in the corner. 5 seconds away from overtime unless Finland can find a late winner. They scored the last time they were in this area. Devlin Shanahan may have to make his biggest save of the game. We're back underway. Up top, here's Jokela denied, and the rebound will go over to the corner. Well, you just smelt overtime with this game, and we got it. For the first time at the 2026 European Box Lacrosse Championships, we will go to extra time. We will take another breather and come back for overtime between Finland and Ireland. Well, well, well. Look what we've got here. Overtime at the Euros between Finland and Ireland. I mean, you couldn't write a better script for a game like this. So much back and forth action. Remember, all the way back in the first quarter was when Ireland was up 2-0. They gave up that lead. The power play of Finland started to turn it on. The power play of Finland started to cool off after that. Finland held the lead for the entirety of the game until a midway goal through the fourth quarter by the captain, Brian Gillis, tied things up. Eventually, they take the lead, and it felt like that was going to be it. But Finland just got reset after reset after reset until finally Roope Jokela completes his hat trick and ties the game in the final minute. Overtime rules. 15 minutes are going to go up on the board, but it is sudden victory. One goal wins this game. Who is going to be the hero? Officials get the signal from the scorekeeper's box. First faceoff feels like it's real important to find possession, but really every possession going forward gets more and more important than the previous. Knock forward, Ireland will pick it up. A chance to go right to goal, and they're going to pull it out and let the offense try to do some work. The big guns making their way on. This is Foley. He got the scoring started. Matt Duncan is on. Brian Gillis is back on. Patrick Quinn is as well. And Patrick Corbett parked in the middle right now, trying to create that space. Foley to Gillis. Hard one across, out of the reach of his target, Quinn. And that will end the first possession in overtime for Ireland.
Good way for Finland defensively to get that one going. Ireland trying to create some cutters in the middle of the field to create some space and just not able to do so. So Finland, great job defensively, now able to get off the field and set something up for their offense. Like you said, sudden death overtime. So absolutely massive every possession.
Here's Jokela with room, skips down low, pass was in too tight for Kujala. He'll pick it up though off the boards. Shot well wide. Rupe Jokela can't find it, it goes out of play. The opening 2 possessions of overtime for each team have now ended either out of play or with a violation. Regardless, no shot on goal yet.
These teams have been so even throughout the whole thing. I mean, it's no surprise to me that we're going into overtime and both offenses are continuing to get tested by these defenses. I mean, it's just been so even through and through.
Here's Foley. Gets it across to Gillis. Tough pass, but he handled it well. He'll shoot. Another save. Rebound falls through to the middle. And a huge hit! Massive as Foley got knocked down hard. No penalty on the play. But Finland, they're going to use their timeout here early in overtime.
Oh my goodness.
Take another look at this. Oh my. That hurts a little bit more when it's 35 degrees out. Just stapled down to the boiling hot turf. But now Finland, they can draw up a play and try to ice this game now early on in this overtime frame.
No doubt about it, and it gives them an opportunity to sit down here and draw something up, as both defenses, as the game has gone on, have definitely really calmed things down. It was 7-5 at one point, and since then it's been mostly all defense. Obviously, Ireland had the late push to take the lead, and then Finland did manage to tie it up. But for a game that's known for high-octane offense, there hasn't been as much as you might think, especially between two really good teams, and defenses are continuing to stand up. We'll see if Ireland can get off the field again.
Biggest defensive stand of the game. No doubt about that for Ireland. It'll start all the way back in their defensive end. Jarno Aaltonen will begin this rush. Brett Kujala is open for safety near center, but they're going to keep it on this near wing. Rupe Jokela is on the floor as well. He's got the hot stick for the Finns. Kujala, with how snake-bitten he's been, on the floor. That goes off of his back. You just have to imagine one is going to fall for him sooner rather than later. But here comes Ireland. They got a man up the play, but the ball stays down, and Finland will collect. A gutsy effort to get possession back.
Again, that's another one of those clears where the goalie just skies it and hopes he can come down with it. And again, you really hope, at least in my opinion, you put that in play and you'd be able to catch that in stride.
Shanahan with a big time save. Jokela takes some contact, gets a reset. Open is Viren. Looking for an option. He'll come around the screen, takes a slash. Kujala has it. Drives on his man with a good jab step. Jokela once more, can't find a target open. Ireland's gonna take a penalty now in overtime. Wow. Well, Finland could entirely rewrite the script of this game if they can find the winner on the man advantage.
And yeah, just a clear hold right there. I mean, you can't do that. I mean, that's, especially in this moment too, tied in overtime, sudden death. I mean, that is just probably the worst time you can get that call. And it isn't even for something that, there's been a lot of penalties in this game, but there haven't been a lot of penalties like that.
Yeah, every time you take one of your hands off your stick as a defender, you're basically just begging the referee to give you a penalty. So 5-on-4 will commence. Kujala starts the motion for the Finns. He's got a bit of room. He's going to drag and put it to the corner. Jokela in the middle is denied by Shanahan. Here comes Ireland now. A massive kill It's what they would love to find. Costello able to get it over to Corbett before changing. That'll bring Connor Foley back on. Corbett feeds Foley with a bit of speed. Now he slows down. Double team closing in by Finland. Foley with no space. Hard screen set. Foley still going to drive. He's going to run out of time. A shot comes just as the clock expires. Now the power play time winds down to 1:09.
Again, short-handed too. What a defensive stop there by Finland. Nowhere for Connor Foley to go. He tried to get the pick, tried to maneuver his way inside, and just not a lot of space for him to work with.
Joakim Miller. Altonen. This is Jokinen. He's got room. He puts that off of a helmet. A big-time block for Ireland. Ball is loose. Kujala digging for it. He's got some help by Miller. Comes through the double team. He's wrestled down to the floor, and Ireland will try to clear now. Got to get through this forechecking pressure. Gillis couldn't reach the pass, so it'll trickle all the way down the floor. 30 seconds left in the Finland power play. We're 4 minutes through overtime. Jokela has to be exhausted. 20 seconds left on the man advantage. Jokela has it again. Up top to the point. Here's Kujala. Can't shoot. Maybe now he will off the crossbar. That'll bounce all the way down. Finland able to get a defender onto the floor. Ireland hollering that they sent a man out too early. But Finland gets possession, and we're back to 5-on-5. Just a crucial kill for Ireland.
One of the situations where, regardless of what happened, this is where you have to let the guys play. You have to let it go, and you can't just let a penalty decide it.
In tight, and another save by Shanahan. Viren can't beat Shanahan either. Rebound falls to the crease, and he'll fall on top of it.
Devlin Shanahan, I don't know. I don't know what he took this morning. I don't know what he ate. Whatever it is, he might want to keep eating it.
Yeah, and somebody invest in some ice packs for him. They have to find a way to cool him off before Ireland's next game of the tournament tomorrow. Here is Foley. Can Ireland build on the momentum of an overtime penalty kill? Screen set by Quinn. Foley can't find a lane. Back door. Gillis robbed by the stick of Riku Jokela.
Again, it was another strong play setup design for Ireland, but another great play inside of the net for Finland.
And the Finns give it away. They had a defender in trouble. Ireland knew that right away, and they went straight towards him. Here's Matt Duncan. He has created so much in this game for his nation. Quinn with some room, it puts it into the logo. Another nice stop for Jokela. Good positional save for him. Kujala directing his defender to just slow things down. Kiviniemi is going to stay for the shift, looking to just clear some space now for Rupe Jokela. Hanging on to possession. Finds topside. He's tied up. No penalty. Kiviniemi scores! The overtime winner! And the Finns are able to hang on, and it's 11-10 final.
Team Finland goal scored by player number 21, Alex Kiviniemi, assisted by player number 50, Rose Jokela.
What a comeback for them in an event where they trailed in this game late. They withstand the Ireland pressure, and it's a low one that's going to beat Shanahan. An outstanding game for the Ireland netminder, but that one just squeaks between the wickets. And now the Finns will be able to celebrate and look to reset before their next game tomorrow. We'll close things down, from up here in the booth. Luke Lee, our color commentator, is going to go and wrangle someone from Finland for a post-game interview. But take a look at the stats here. Ireland out shooting Finland 56-53. The face-offs heavily favored Ireland as well. But at the end of the day, Finland get it done in overtime with a 5-hole shot on Devlin Shanahan. What a game here And that'll close things out for me and Luke as well. We thank you very much for joining us, for our entire production crew. For Luke and myself, Tino Farah, we'll catch you on the next one.